Hi everyone, good morning. A very short video today. I wanted to share with you my first thoughts on the legal implications, which I think may be huge, of this news that we had last Friday, last weekend, on the breakthrough, the technological breakthrough of a Chinese company, DeepSeek, in creating an artificial intelligence assistant, artificial intelligence solutions that may be able to do exactly the same work with exactly the same results or even better than ChatGPT and other solutions which are more or less equivalent, but with more or less 5% of the cost, of the general cost in order to produce those results. 5% of the necessary energy to run the models, 5% of the necessary computer capacity to train the model, etc., etc., etc. And why that's huge? Because if regulation of artificial intelligence and the development of those solutions, of those technological solutions, was already difficult, as it has been shown by the lack of regulation in the United States or whatever the Chinese government is doing. But essentially, it has been shown by the difficulties of the European Union to try to create and develop a legal framework that was more or less coherent with the idea that we want to enhance this process of technological development, but with control in order to avoid risks. And the result of this approach by the European Union has been the European Union Artificial Intelligence Regulation, Artificial Intelligence Act, which was recently approved last year, in the summer of the last year, after a long period of discussion. So this regulation, which is the state-of-the-art regulation, and no other country or no other region has a regulation, a legal framework like that, was designed thinking in operators in the market of artificial intelligence that were big investors, big companies, big money, big players. The result is a regulation with an approach that is more or less the result of copying the traditional approach of industrial safety regulations to artificial intelligence. And that may work if we are dealing with big companies, with big players. If any breakthrough needs to be made by players that we can control and that we can know of them. But if this example made by DeepSeek is more or less what we are going to see in the future, that every little player is going to have the capacity to disrupt the market and to create even more powerful tools. Most of the legal framework that has been created by the European Union, which is thinking in a market that we can try to control in order to avoid risk by forcing those big players to make assessments, to have a lot of duties of compliance, etc., 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 may fail from its base. So what we are going to do, we don't know yet. We don't know yet, but the implications are really important because maybe the basic foundations of the way that we are trying to follow in order to control and to assess risk and to avoid problems with artificial intelligence developments, we will need to rethink that from the beginning. And that's the main and most important consequence in the legal area that I consider that we are going to see in the next days, weeks, or months after the DeepSeek announcement and the constat that they are effectively achieving this reduction, this mass reduction in cost in order to develop artificial intelligence. What do you think on that? I really expect your thoughts on that. See you.